What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our NFL season predictions. The last one of these videos for
Wow.
the year. The NFC West is what we got ahead of us. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to be entered into our giveaway at 500 subscribers. And we'll start it off here with the Arizona Cardinals. And you can see from our
Man,
predictions, don't really look too good here. They lost Robbie Chosen Anderson, Max Williams, and J.J. Watt retired. And what they bring in, well, they brought in Paris Johnson, who will bolster whoever the quarterback is week one. New head coach John
no.
Gannon could be decent. And then other than that, not really too much. They announced today that Kyler Murray is not going to be playing the first 4 weeks. He's on IR. They released Colt McCoy. So their newly traded quarterback, Josh Dobbs, is going to be the week one starter more than likely. And that's why I have all four of those games as losses because, well, let's be honest, going to San Francisco, that's probably a loss. Dallas and the Giants are playoff teams from last year, so that's a loss. And then at Washington, first game of the year on the road, tough environment to play in, and so that's another loss. So for me, I can't really see this team starting to pick up a win until the middle of the year, and that's why I have them going 4-13.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I just don't think they can beat Seattle. You have them beating the Rams. You have them beating Seattle twice, Cleveland and the Rams. I just don't think they can win those games in Seattle at Cleveland. I think the Rams are going to be actually pretty good, but anyway, the Cardinals, I do like obviously Paris Johnson, that's huge. They also just traded away Isaiah Simmons and they got what, like a seventh round pick.
Yeah.
That's nothing for what they got for Isaiah Simmons. I just don't know why they would do that. I think the only reason is to try to go 1-16 and get the number one pick. So that's what I think they're gonna do. I mean, you guys saw the last one it says 1-16 for the Bucks too. So those are the two teams that are the bottom dwellers.
And then the Los Angeles Rams. I have them kind of repeating the same performance as last year. I want to have this team better, but I just can't just because Matthew Stafford, his question marks, Cooper Kupp's, looking better, but question marks there. And look at how much they lost on defense. They lost a lot on defense and they didn't really replace the secondary that much. And I think we're going to see Stetson Bennett start a game before the season's over. Maybe it's because Stafford hurt again, or just it's a lost cause of a season, kind of what I have happening. And they just throw him in there. But for me, it just comes down to the health of Stafford. I saw the report, I think it was this morning, where Stafford says he's still having trouble identifying all the young guys on his team, and he needs like a book with their faces in it to know who's who. So maybe something's going on there with Stafford, and he might be low key in his last year of his career. But hey, he won his Super Bowl. The trade worked out for him for that
Yeah.
year, but now it's kind of looking like a disappointment.
Yeah, the trade definitely works as long as you win a Super Bowl. Yeah, that's not a good look for the Rams or Stafford at all. You got to know your teammates. How is he gonna be able to read defenses if he can't remember his teammates? But 7-10 is my prediction. I think they're going to be better than last year, partly just because Stafford is not going to be injured the whole year. So 7-10, kind of a disappointing year. They really don't have that great of a roster anymore. So
Then I have the 49ers actually doing better than what I had last year. And
hmm.
didn't really lose too much. I mean, they lost Jimmy G, but in the long run, I think it kind of helped them out. I mean, you can put Trey Lance on there now after he just got traded. What did they do? Well, they brought in Sam Darnold, and Kyle Shanahan is loving what he's seeing from Sam Darnold. So now he's their number two. Obviously, Brock Purdy is their number one. And it's going to be the Purdy show. They're all in on Brock Purdy. And if he fails this year, then the Niners are probably going to go back to the bank and think, what's going on here? Is Sam Darnold going to be our guy now, or they can go out and make a splash? So they are heavily invested in the seventh round Mr. Irrelevant pick from last year. They're not paying him much, so I understand why right now. If he struggles, then this team might struggle as well. But we saw last year that it didn't really matter who the quarterback was when it was Garoppolo or it was Lance, and then Garoppolo came in, and then Garoppolo went down, and Purdy came in. This team
Mhm.
found ways to win games, and I think that repeats again this year. I think they lose week one at Pittsburgh, and I
Yep.
say that just because Pittsburgh always puts up a week one fight against tough teams. I mean, like we saw it 2 years ago when they went to Buffalo and won Buffalo. The year Buffalo was the heavy favorite, to win it all. And other than that, though, I mean, I think they'll slip up a few times on the road, but they're not going to lose the home game this year.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. We both have them going 14-3. Obviously, you have a little bit more faith in my Steelers than me, apparently. 14-3, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It looks terrible if Brock Purdy is just terrible. I don't think he's gonna be though. I think he's shown good flashes last season. And this 49ers offense is gonna move quick and it's gonna be efficient. So it's gonna be really, really strong offense this year. And obviously with all the boys on defense, they have the best defense in the league as well. So just a really solid roster and 14-3 winning this division.
And then the last team that we're breaking down is the Seattle Seahawks. Last year, kind of the surprise team. Everybody 9-8, and this year I think it's going to be a step back. 7-10. They did lose some decent players, nothing too crazy. I mean, Bruce Irvin's a big loss for the franchise. Jonathan Abram as well. I think people are kind of overshadowing that they lost Rashad Penny and Travis Homer because these two guys, when healthy, were actually very good backs. And we know that tall tale of Seattle, they have to have healthy running backs to be good. Well, Kenny Walker, he's healthy right now. He's always on track to play week 1. Same with Charbonnet. And these two guys could be a new two-headed monster out there in Seattle. Gonna come down to the consistent play of Geno. Yes, it is. And he's got his weapons. You know, Jackson Smith and Jigba looking like he's gonna take the Tyler Lockett role probably next year. Lockett and Metcalf obviously are still there, but I just think this division is gonna beat up on them a little too much. You know, they are gonna sweep the Rams, but I don't know. I just can't see it happening.
I think they're going to build on what they did last year with Geno. I mean, before last year, they were considered the favorite to be the number 1 overall pick, I'm pretty sure. And then they came out, won a lot of games last year. I think they're going to build on that, ending up 10-7 and my final wild card spot. So, yeah, Devin Bush is pretty good. I mean, he didn't play good for Pittsburgh, but I still believe him in a little bit. He's a Michigan kid. I think he's going to be solid. And other than that, it's going to be the Kenneth Walker show on offense, along with Zach Charbonnet. He's looked pretty good as well. So I think they're going to be pretty good and pretty fun to watch.
And
Right.
here is my official breakdown of every single team this year. If you want to screenshot it, do whatever you got to do. But that's what we're thinking is going to happen this year and make the playoffs, at least what I'm thinking. You know, there is going to be an 8-9 team making it out of the NFC, which could be the big surprise, or maybe just some teams didn't play up to their expectations. But I think it's going to be a great year of football as we continue our videos.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for the season to kick off. I'll just run through my playoff teams real quick. Winning the AFC East is the Bills, Bengals in the North, Jags South, Chiefs in the West, and the wild card teams I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, the LA Chargers, and the New York Jets, and then 1 9-8 team from the Cowboys in the NFC. Other than that, I got the Eagles, Lions, Saints, and Niners winning the division with the Vikings and the Seahawks as my last 2 wild card teams. I think these are accurate, so do what you got to do.
That's going to be it for our little predictions and this video. Make sure you guys come back, though. We are going to be dropping our NFL Super Bowl and playoff predictions, and then who we think is going to win all the big awards this year, and obviously our weekly picks as well. So stay tuned for those. Be subscribed to our channel and hit that little notifications button for when we drop our videos. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.